I've been really starting to take on the depth of imagination and realize the true potential of this master illusion that we are tapping into as a species. And to think about the potential of imagination and what we are capable of imagining is endless. It's a reflection of the universe. It's a reflection of all creation. Our imagination is mirroring the true potential of itself through the immensity of the universe. Now, if you look back at everything that's been imagined, everything that has come out of the human consciousness and has formed through imagination, everything, it is still very, 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 very small and insignificant at this point. And will it ever be significant in the universe? That's a question that may never be answered. But if you look at it from this huge vantage point of the universe, everything that's been imagined, and you see it, it is all as one. It is all projecting and reflecting in the universe. To some degree, it may be in all direction, inhabiting the universe as in a web, or it may be just projecting in one direction that we have fully not yet to grasp. So, as insignificant as the imagination is so far amongst the universe, we must learn to understand that nothing truly is of opposite. There is no contradictory amongst us. Now, in a sense of conforming and creating a structure in our existence, as if you were to build a house or to create a school or anything like that, you have to have boundaries and lines of contradictory. But in the universe as a whole, as objective as what our objective is as a human species, there is no contradictory. The illusion of contradictory could be considered very generic, could be considered very flamboyant, not really a state that holds its own. A truth that you find with yourself and how that truth may be. You find a truth that you discover about your childhood, or you find a truth about something that you did a week before. Remember, you lost a necklace, and then you realize, well, this necklace was here this whole time, and I didn't even realize it was underneath my bed, just in a spot where I couldn't see it. And then you remember what happened. These truths lead to a certain spot in your life, any truth can become contradictory. Any truth could have that polar opposite, just as a magnet has its opposites. And when you look at a magnet, you have these two sides that reflect each other, that push away. And its kaleidoscope of force that it holds within itself, each one of those layers of force in that magnet are its own unique way of attraction and deflection. We look at it and we see only two sides. But as you move that magnet, those two magnets away from each other and around each other, you feel it as it's almost a ball, a force field, a shape. And truth is the same way. Truth has a shape. The imagination has a shape. And it's constant formation of expansion, as if it was a force, a magnetic force. It is constantly changing shape. So, no contradictory. All truth has contradictory. Accepting truth is to accept the lie that it polarizes with, eventually. Eventually it will cause a lie or become a lie to a certain degree. We look at these things as conflicting to what we are. When we think of a lie, or we think, oh, we're believing something that's contradictory. But belief doesn't derive from one thing. It derives from everything you've ever experienced. And it just depends on which way your light is faced, your flashlight on the situation, and what belief you're able to use at that time. So all belief is like a Swiss Army knife. It's very interchangeable. I myself, I believe in everything. I don't have a one direction in my compass of belief. My belief is of a force field, of imagination, of all that has already been done and created, imagined. I believe in that. At a distance in the universe, when you see everything that we've become and imagined, that is the stance I see my belief, in its whole immensity of gathering its ultimate form, and constantly shapes the mirror of the universe. I guess it goes back to that saying, I don't know why Bruce Lee's popping up in my head right now, but be like water. Be like water, my friend. We are like water. We are like fluid. We are like this shape that is constantly changing, coming to the surface, the constant of reality. Light is at a constant, and so is our reality. So what will you imagine next? What will be the objective of your imagination? How will you use your imagination? Will you use it to help yourself or to help others or to build and create or create finite structures within society? Which there's nothing wrong with boundaries. There's nothing wrong with believing in contradictory. But just as any other tool that you have in your toolbox, you have to know when to use the tool properly and use the correct tool. Yeah, we can point a lot of things out and say, well, this contradicts or this downplays, so it is no good. But then again, there are so many things that we have that we use every day that are only good for certain things. And if we try to use those objects, whether it's a tool, whether it's could be a cooking utensil. You're not going to use a steak knife for a spatula. It doesn't mean that the steak knife is contradictory to the spatula's needs, and using the steak knife to flip your eggs would be contradictory. It just doesn't work. That's the same sense of contradictory. It just doesn't work. It doesn't mean it's no good. You're still going to take the steak knife and put it back in your drawer and use it to cut a steak later on. You know? It's not like you're just going to throw the steak. Oh, this steak knife doesn't work for my eggs. It's no good then. I'm going to throw it away. It's terrible. It's contradictory. All truth is of this. All imagination is of this. All people are of this. This is the polarity in the test. You can call it a test. You can call it a situation. This is the polarity that we are facing amongst everyone. Lives collide, situations collide, you know. How do we go about it? How do we see that it is necessary for all truth and all belief in this world to coexist? How do we use our imagination to sculpt and discipline these truths and these truths that contradict? We just accept the fact that we are very, very significant, but unsignificant at the same time. We are significant because what we have in this ever-evolving, lost, empty space is extremely rare and finite. And once we see it at this standpoint, then we'll learn to accept on a bigger level. So, reach the furthest depths of your imagination. You know, reach them, reach for them. But don't let one truth stop another truth. Don't let contradictory stop you from love, from experiencing. Don't let it stop you from discovering in this experience. Thank you.